Welcome to the Mixology Talk Podcast.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Julia, and we're the folks behind abarabove.com, the ultimate resource for craft bartenders, bar operators, and just about anybody else looking to make great craft drinks.
I'm a bar consultant with more than 10 years of industry experience.
And I run abarabove.com, bringing weekly articles and cocktail recipes to help you make great drinks and grow your career behind the bar. This is episode number 100.
Shiny episode 100.
Can you believe we made it to 100?
I can't.
Can you believe that people listen to this thing?
Thanks, Mom.
I know, and my mom too. We've got two
Thanks,
listeners.
Moms.
No, I really can't believe it. I can't believe we made it all the way to episode number 100. And actually the timing is quite good because we've got a little secret to tell you about.
Yeah, we've got some changes in the wind here, and we got some great announcements.
Well, something's happening.
Yeah, and this isn't about another baby. Well, kind of.
Wait, what? Are you having a baby without me?
Well, we're definitely adding to the family, shall we say.
You gotta tell me before you add to the family. This is just awkward. Well, we've got a big announcement this week, so you should stick with us, and we will tell you all about it.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it. So do you want to tell them?
I think it should probably be you.
Me?
Yeah.
It has kind of been my project, so we won't draw this out any longer. That's just mean. If you've been poking around the website over the last couple of months, you've probably started to see some hints at this, and I guess it's probably time to make it official. So
Yeah.
Chris and I and A Bar Above have started our own bar tools brand.
Yeah, and it's been a long time coming. I think
It has many years.
Conversation you and I have had ever since A Bar Above started, basically.
Before that, absolutely. Yeah, no, this has been a project that's been in the back of our minds forever. And we started the blog, gosh, I don't remember, it must have been 2013, something like that. And people kept asking us as the blog got a little bit bigger, we started to get messages. People started to ask us quite frequently what bar tools that we recommended. And we would go on Amazon and we would look for things that we could easily just link to. Because full disclosure, when we provide links to some Amazon products, we can actually get a little bit of a commission, which helps us support this blog. And so we were looking for products on Amazon, and there weren't any. There weren't any good ones. There wasn't, up until recently, there wasn't a single Boston shaker on Amazon, which is really surprising.
Yeah, and the one that was on there, and it's been on there for about a year or so,
didn't have great reviews.
Yeah, it did not work the way it was engineered to do it.
We'll let you do your own research on that one. But so this was really the seed of the idea. And I talked to Chris about it many, many times. And finally, we decided to try to solve the problem ourselves. We waited many years to see if good products would start to show up on Amazon Prime, and they just didn't. There's a couple bar tool companies out there that are on Amazon but fulfill on their own, which means you have to pay shipping and stuff. And folks don't want to pay for shipping. That's what we were hearing. So
yeah, and most of the other tools that we investigated when we were going through this project in the beginning, it wasn't very professional focused. It was a lot of home enthusiasts.
A lot of consumer focused barware. And what we saw was poor quality. A lot of products that just did not have the professional bartender in mind. Just the wrong styles. A lot of things like that. And so we figured at the very least we could serve you, our audience of bartenders, and see if this thing worked. So this would have been, I guess, beginning of 2016 that I really dug into this project. And this has been a little bit more my project than Chris's, although he has been the professional expert.
I've consulted.
Yes, he's the consultant. And what we started with was we started just making up a name. We thought about using the Bar Above name, but we thought it might be a little confusing. And quite frankly, I really wasn't that confident that the Bar Tool brand would work.
Yeah, we were both a little bit nervous of kind of dipping our toe into this new idea. And we wanted to kind of preserve the integrity of a bar above.
Yeah, if it didn't work, we wanted to be able to shut it down and have nobody the wiser.
Right. And good news is that things have been going well.
It seems like it's working. Yeah. So very, very, very short version of the story. I reached out and I found a factory in China. We did a whole bunch of testing. We purchased some shakers that Chris and I worked to find the perfect combination of Boston Shaker. And we found that it was the combination of weighted, unweighted, which is interesting because that's not a set that you can usually buy. Usually you see unweighted, or weighted.
Right. And I think the industry standard right now is weighted. And just from working behind the bar for a high-paced environment, I really found that the combination of weighted and unweighted was kind of the perfect middle ground for me.
It's that sweet spot, right? I mean, I've even experienced it myself where you've got just the right amount of flexibility that you've got the perfect seal, but you can still get the darn thing open.
Right, because with the unweighted tin, the whole thing just kind of flexes and it just reseals itself, and it's a nightmare to get open. And then with the weighted, in my experience, it doesn't seal right. So a lot of the times when I'm shaking egg white cocktails, dry shaking them, it'll pop open on me, and there's nothing worse than getting an egg white cocktail running down the side of your neck when you're in full business.
I thought that was hair gel.
After a while, it kind of
sets like hair gel. There's a movie about that, isn't there?
I think it was called something about Mary, yeah. And I don't think it was egg whites.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Pressures. But it wouldn't keep the seals really well. So the perfect combination for me was this weighted cocktail shaker that would have a lot of rigidity to it, and the unweighted one, which would provide a lot of flexibility, which in turn would create a really tight seal. But the rigidity plus the flexibility would create a really easily opened seal when a pressure is applied.
Exactly. And up until this point, Chris had been purchasing the parts separately because he couldn't buy it. And so we found a manufacturer who could actually supply this. Well, we found a couple of manufacturers, did a whole bunch of testing, narrowed it down, got them fully FDA tested to make sure that everything is completely food safe. And I suppose the rest is history. We started with a small order and sold out pretty quickly, much to our surprise.
Right. And it's been really well received in the community. And the quality is fantastic. I think it's thicker metal than you usually would get from a metal shaker. So it has a lot of weight to it, which is great for just long life of product. So
yeah, it's been, I think that, well, selfishly, it's just kind of nice because now we can get our own. When we want a shaker, we have exactly what we want. We don't have to go and buy multiple pieces from multiple places. So that was really the first product that we were testing with this Bar Tools brand. But when that went so well, it piqued our interest. And so in fall of last year, we also started to sell one of Chris's favorite little implements behind the bar, and that is cocktail picks. It's something that you don't see as often in a professional bar because, well, they get stolen.
Kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, exactly. But stainless steel cocktail picks have been an absolute staple of our cocktail photography on the blog for a long time. They look fantastic. They're washable. You throw them in the dishwasher carefully because they fall down to the bottom. And it's something that I didn't see again on Amazon. And when we spoke to our manufacturer, they were able to make those too, cocktail picks. And so we added those to our lineup. And actually just recently, we decided to take that one step further and we added a long cocktail pick, which is especially for things like Bloody Marys and Collins cocktails and
Pim's cups. Oh, they're perfect for Pim's cups.
Perfect for a Pim's cup. And that's something that, as far as I can tell, doesn't exist anywhere. You literally can't buy an 8-inch stainless steel cocktail pick.
Right. Yeah, I'm like in the past, I've used really long not cocktail skewers, but wooden bamboo skewers. And they totally do the job, but they don't look like they belong behind a bar.
And stainless just looks so good.
And very elegant. And
it really does. Yeah. And again, this won't be the right choice for every bar, especially in a place where your consumers might just stick it in their purse, which is a lot of bars for the record. But I think that it was a really fun thing for us to work through, to start making those cocktail picks and then work with our manufacturer to say, you know what, looking at our industry, looking at, frankly, the cocktails that Chris was making for the blog, he kept saying, I could really go for a long cocktail pick. And I feel so excited to be able to say, okay, let me ask the factory.
Let's do it. Right.
Yeah, and let's see if they can do it.
I think the pride of the collection from my viewpoint, is the bar kit.
Yes, the bar kit was pretty cool. This is definitely a really good thing to mention because this was kind of the turning point for me. We're going back in time again. I'm going a little bit out of order, but if we go back a couple years, a good friend of mine was getting married. And she had put on her wedding registry this like monstrosity of a cocktail shaker. It was a horrible choice. She'd put this a couple different bar tools, and I was just like, no.
I remember having this conversation with you.
Yeah, I was worried about etiquette because she read you needed prompt for it, and I know you're supposed to buy off the registry, but I couldn't in good conscience let her buy this terrible stuff. So I made an executive decision. I took a chance. I marked, I don't know, this is like bad etiquette probably, but I marked all of her bar stuff purchased. And then I went out and found a really good quality set of bar tools for her. And let me tell you how hard that was.
Yeah, it was difficult.
I really wanted to buy on Amazon because I procrastinated and left it to the last second and I needed Prime. And there was nothing there. I was in trouble. Again, this was before the cocktail shaker was available, so I had to piece something together from a lot of different stores. And so once we had our cocktail shaker for sale and it was going well, we knew that we had to put together a bar kit. It was coming up on Christmas 2016 at this time, and we just absolutely wanted to get a bar kit out by then. And again, we spoke with our manufacturer. We put together a list of what we believe should be in a craft bar kit. Little hint, there are no pour spouts.
No pour spouts. No bottle openers.
No bottle openers. I don't think
there's no stands.
There's no
like
plastic.
Metal stands. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the essentials. This is the stuff that an actual craft bartender would use. We worked with a packaging designer to put together a beautiful box and insert to make it very giftable. And we actually got this on the market just in time for Christmas. Funny story, actually. If I remember correctly, our biggest shipment arrived when Miles, our son, was about 2 days old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah. No, and it's been fun. And the reason that we really focus on a bar kit is I imagined a brand new bartender getting in a craft bar, bartending, not knowing what tools they need. This will take care of almost everything. I think the only thing that you're missing is a mixing glass, but everything else is there. I mean, you could literally buy this and walk into a bar and start working with this kit. And nothing existed anywhere that I could find for a reasonable price with high quality tools. So this really kind of made me want to make this kit selfishly for myself because there was always a need for me.
And we've totally given it away to family. I'm not going to lie.
Right. Well, and it's funny, like your original story of what kind of started this whole process of your friend getting married. I remember we actually bought a bunch of stuff. We received it. And none of it was good. There
was a couple items that were so bad that I literally just took Chris's bar tools from behind his bar, promised to pay him back, and put them in the gift for her.
No, I remember having to sacrifice a couple of my bar spoons.
Yeah, you never got those back.
And a muddler. And just
This is true sacrifice. He gave me some of his bar spoons.
That was hard. That was really difficult, but it was worth it.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
No, and so it's been a really exciting process for us. It's something that I think will benefit our community because we vetted these tools. They're all very purposeful, the decisions we've made with all these products. And we're just really excited to be able to fill a need in our community.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, the story sort of continues with a couple more products that we've been adding. We have a muddler that's coming because, again, so many muddlers on the market are just total knuckle busters.
Right. Or they're ugly.
They're like 8 inches long, which is the perfect length for you to split your knuckles on the side of your
pint glass or mixing tin.
Right, no. And it's just ridiculous. I have a belief that every muddler should be at least 10 inches long, preferably 12.
Yeah. I remember many times working behind the bar, making mojitos or any other muddle drink you can think of. And just full action and me putting my thumb and my skin between the edge of the cheater tin. So the cheater tin wedged up underneath, and it happened multiple times. And I'm like, this sucks. So then that's when I went to a much larger.
Something tells me you didn't say, this sucks.
No, I didn't. I grinned and bared it.
I think you probably said something a little bit more colorful.
Right. But after that, I was like, I'll never work with a small muddler again. And
size matters.
It does. It totally does. So yeah, like I said, all these tools are tools that I've worked with behind a bar, and I would absolutely recommend.
And we have the benefit of being able to speak with our community, and actually for Chris to be able to speak with some of his restaurant clients. Chris has a couple of restaurants he's working with on a consulting basis, and it's been kind of fun to take them our products, some of the first run samples, and say, what do you think about this?
Yeah. So just a heads up, we're launching a Hawthorne strainer here pretty soon.
Yes, this one's pretty exciting.
It's a ground up design that I came up with my father-in-law, who's a engineer.
I know. Talk about a family business.
Yeah.
Chris sat down. What was the story? You sat down with my dad to build a solid model of your world's perfect strainer while I'm, pawning off my baby on my mother. It was a good deal.
It totally worked out. So yeah, we got a really elegant, really beautiful Hawthorne strainer coming out very soon. And it's just been a really fun experience to work on these tools. And just working behind the bar, you're like, oh man, this is a really great tool, if only. And having those experiences for so long finally having the opportunity to redesign tools and make them really purpose-built for speed, for accuracy, and just for a really beautiful presentation
and quality.
to the guest.
And I think there's so much stuff out there. I think so much of the marketplace for bar tools is the consumer marketplace. It is just, a gift you give somebody and they never use. I think a lot of low quality stuff really persists in the marketplace, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to create stuff that's really going to hold up. And I think that's the one thing I did want to really highlight in this episode, which is, we're doing this to fill a gap in our community, and we would love your help. If there's something that you are frustrated with in your bar, maybe an idea you have or change to a certain tool that you're using, I'd love to hear about it. Maybe that's something that we can help bring to our community and help fill that gap so that folks have the tools that they need to get the job done.
Yeah, because there's nothing more frustrating than being busy and not having the right tools at your disposal. It is the worst. I remember working with cobbler shakers and just swearing I would never do that again because there's such a nightmare. Shut. Oh, it's such a nightmare when the top freezes over. I just said, you know what? They're beautiful. I love the way they look. They're not meant to be behind a fast-paced cocktail bar.
They're great for a home bar.
They really are. And just things like that, not having the right straws, the muddler scenario, just small things like this really impede your ability to focus on your guests and make really great cocktails. So any recommendations we would love to hear.
Absolutely. So that's our big news. I don't know if it will come as a huge surprise, as we have started to hint at it on the A Bar Above blog. And we will actually include links on today's show notes at mixologytalk.com/100. I can't believe that's 100.
I know.
That's crazy. We'll include links to all those bar tools so you can check them out and give us your feedback. We would really love to hear it.
Yeah. So, and that is only one piece of the good news that we have.
That's true. The other part is yours.
Yeah. So the other part of this is I have gone out. I've reached out to a bunch of people online through Facebook. And we're launching a brand new series on this podcast, kind of following the evolution that bartenders take through the craft bar world and just in general of going from bar back to bartender to bar manager, even to entrepreneur. So I think I'm interviewing 6 to 7 people over the course of the next couple of weeks about bartenders that have made the jump from bartender to entrepreneur, some of the lessons that they've had and what inspired them to make that jump, because I think it's a really interesting story. And for me personally, this is another way for our community to kind of build upon itself, because one of the emails that we get fairly consistently, and it always kind of really frustrates me because I don't have an answer, is the email that goes something along the lines of, I've been working in this bar business or in hospitality for 10 to 15 years. I absolutely love what I do, but I don't feel like there's a way out. I don't feel like there's a next step. I don't want to be a bar manager. I don't want to own my own bar. And I don't feel like I want to either pursue a brand ambassador job or I feel I'm too old. And we get this email quite a bit.
And it's frustrating. I mean, it's sad. There are opportunities out there. And so this is a great project for us to sort of talk to people who have taken those opportunities and maybe, or I should say, made those opportunities for themselves and really leverage the skills that they learned behind the bar. Because I think as a society, unfortunately, bartending still has a reputation of being sort of a low-end job. And I call BS. There are so many incredible skills that you learn as a bartender that can be leveraged to do just unbelievable list of things. So don't sell yourself short.
No, and so hopefully this series that we're coming up on is going to really inspire the entrepreneurial-minded people, really give you some things to focus on the bar and how to develop some of the skills now to set you up to become a successful entrepreneur afterwards. So we're really going to be focusing on career development over the next couple episodes. And of course, we'll fill in a couple things here and there, and we'll always be doing listener questions because we love them. And I think we actually we have a backlog of questions we need to get to.
We do. And actually, one of the things that I think we're going to be doing is actually starting to ask for help with those questions. When we get questions that we can't answer, we're hoping to reach out to experts in our community and bring them on in an interview and be able to bring in some brains that aren't our own. You've been listening to us for 100 episodes.
Yeah, and we apologize. So sorry. So
all your money back. Just email me. I'll return your money.
So we're definitely hoping to bring some new blood in here, some new light, some new inspiration, and really add more value to this community, because that's what we're here for, is to help others succeed in this community. So,
and share the spotlight. And if you're an expert in a certain topic, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to hear from you guys.
Definitely reach out to us. I think that the email address we have set up is cheers@mixologytalk.com.
I think it might be. Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's a good choice. Shoot us an email, and we'd love to hear from you, because again, this isn't about us, and we don't want it to be about us. We want this podcast and A Bar Above, and frankly, even Top Shelf Bar Supply, to be about the community and giving back to the community and giving us everyone the tools that they need. So if you've got cool stuff to share, we'd love to help you share it.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's all the big news we have.
No more babies.
No more babies.
You scared me.
Baby businesses, maybe.
Baby businesses. Okay.
But yeah, so thank you very much for listening, for supporting us, for all of the great feedback that we get from you guys and all the questions that come across through email. We're really, really excited to be here 100 episodes later, and we're looking forward to the next 100.
And I have to say it, if you're in the market for some bar tools, you should totally...
Shameless plug alert!
You should check it. They're really good bar tools.
They're great bar tools.
We are huge nerds. You know that we would choose good bar tools.
Right.
I hope that you would at least trust us with this.
So where should they look for our bar tools?
You should go to... See, this feels weird.
It does.
You should go to the show notes at mixologytalk.com/100, and I'll include the links there.
So before we go, I don't think we actually told them the name of the company.
Did we?
I don't think we did.
It's called Top Shelf Bar Supply.
We failed.
We are bad at this.
Yeah. So Top Shelf Bar Supply. Look for us on Amazon.
Look for us on Amazon. See you next time.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Never miss an episode by subscribing at iTunes or YouTube. And as always, check out the show notes by clicking on the right.